Welcome back to Brindlewood Bay. It is 1997. It is the day after we saw some great black inky thing settle above the sea on the bay. I'm Meaker, your gamekeeper. Eddi-Rue, let's start with you.
Hello, Eddi-Rue Dubois, played by Chris Diercksen. And last time when you saw Eddi-Rue, I think last time you saw Eddi-Rue, I bodied Demeter and gaslit her to say that she attacked me to get out of a bad situation.
That's a great one. Doris, let's go to you.
Hello, Doris Mackowiak, played by Shannon Wade. Last time around, I stole a bunch of plans from Patrick, who is the trick constructor for the Great Grievous.
Awesome. Bebe, to you.
Hi, I'm Bebe, played by Kory Flores, and last time I discovered that I can really throw my weight around, literally, if you listen to the last episode. We stole some cool things. We learned some new stuff. We found a freaking eyeball, and we learned some new things about how to see. So, in the meantime, I have made an unusual connection with the authorities, and am now trying to figure out how to turn that into a win. I might be going off the grain and heading into the blue waters. Keeping it real, mysterious.
Eddi-Rue, you looked like you were itching to say something.
Oh, I was just like, oh, that's what I did. I did the occult move to find the eyeball. That's like the big win I had. I just forgot.
It's been a minute.
I ascribed it to, I was like, that's the thing that we did. I was like, no, I rolled that. Hey, that's the thing that Eddi-Rue did.
It's in your pocket.
Yeah, it's true. Pocketbook.
Your pocketbook.
I don't have pockets. They don't make those for women.
Not in 1997.
Certainly not.
Definitely not. Lane,
what if I put a hat pin in there?
They used to sell it. We used to be a real country. I'm Ben Ferber. I play Lane Walther, who last time invented and then portrayed Dr. Tolkien Delphine, who is a prominent oceanographer and academic, and in doing so, discovered the occult object that sort of proved the things she has been seeing are related to something that's going on. So whatever ruined her life 10 years ago is real. She is not crazy. Everyone else is crazy.
I love that. Whatever ruined your life is definitely real. Mm-hmm. Before we go to our cozy moves, Doris, you owe us a very specific scene.
Ooh.
What is the scene supposed to be? And then lead us in.
Yeah, so this scene is this scene is a continuation of that. Doris got a postcard in the mail from Ginger that was very flirtatious, and I think was like, do you want to go on a date? And Doris wrote back and said yes, so they're going on a date at Cup of Nothing.
Cup of Nothing.
That's where it starts. That's the first place. Look, Doris hasn't put herself out there in a really long time, so she's pretty rusty, and she needs to ease into it.
Is this I just want to know if what time of day this Cup of Nothing date is.
Great question. I think it is towards like evening twilight. So there's like little candles on the table, and it's got a nice coffee shop vibe.
And is it falling before the end of our last game, or is it happening like right after? Like you got this message from Demeter, and then you were like, I just want to hang out with Ginger.
That's a great question. I think it would have happened maybe mid last session, or like before we did the whole eyeball thing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. And this scene is supposed to be from your character sheet. It's a scene about a burgeoning romance. Is that what it says? What is it?
Like in terms of one of the crowns?
Yeah. Is it?
There's a one that says
a burgeoning romance.
Oh yeah, burgeoning romance. I was like, it's crossed out, but we didn't do it yet. Yes, that's the one.
Fantastic. All right. So Ginger meets up with you at Cup of Nothing. Is wearing like a nice like little lapel jacket over a button down, and has some fun flowers for you that are that she just sort of hands very assertively over to you. And she also has a box on the table that she just sort of sets there, and it's wrapped very, very nicely.
Is that for me? I didn't know we were doing gifts. I feel unprepared.
I mean, like gifts can sometimes be. I mean, I have something. Yes. I was going to wait till later in the date, but yes, this is, and she'll just slide it across the table for you. And she like authoritatively snaps for coffee and tea over at the table, and it appears, and it's like very much like a prearranged sort of thing. But she puts the gift down in front of you.
Ginger, I just have to say, your assertiveness is very attractive.
Well, thank you. It's been a lot of years not being asserting, and now I'm assertive, and now there's
just a lot in my life in this town that feels pretty out of control right now. So just to have someone who knows what she wants and is very grounded, it's just very comforting to me. So thank you. I'm really glad we're doing this.
I am too, my ever since my, my sister died just like a few months ago. And since then I've been really just like, gung ho, we're going to do this. So please open your present, open this. I made it. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I made it.
You made it. Oh,
yes.
Ginger, I love it already, but okay. And I opened the present.
And you can see that it looks like a potato with wires coming out of it in different ways.
Oh, and Doris is going to pick it up and kind of look at it from all angles and be like, is this a battery?
It's a battery. It's a battery. So like you can hook it up to a light and it'll light up your life.
Just wow. Ginger, this is so thoughtful. I've never had anything like this before. And man, it just takes me back. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yes, thank you. I'm gonna have to hook it up when I get home to my very favorite lamp on my bedside table, and then I'll just be thinking of you.
That's very good. That's excellent. Yes. And
I think Doris is gonna kind of take a deep breath, and then maybe a sip of tea, and then look at Ginger and say, unless you would want to hook it up together.
Yes, I can. We can do that. We can absolutely. I would happily. I can show you how to hook it up into your bedside lamp. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think that would be lovely.
Great. So you take Ginger back to your house, and show her the bedside table. One presumes.
Yes, and I think we're just sitting on the bed and be like, oh, the lamp, blah, blah, this is the lamp. There's probably some family photos, whatever, nearby, and we're gonna, maybe hook it up, plug it into the potato battery, or vice versa, however that works, and then I feel like our hands kind of meet on top of the potato, and then slow fade out. You know what happens.
Magic. Gay magic. Gay
happens.
Screaming. It's so wonderful. It's the 90s. It's 97. Willow's not gay yet. So, we have some work to do. Oh, I love it. Fantastic. Awesome. I'm so glad that we got Doris and Ginger in this moment. You now also have a potato battery in your cozy place. So that is something for you. All right. Let's get to some cozy scenes. Do we want to start with the darkest or the really dark? Fantastic. Who wants to go first? Let me ask this question. Who's dying to go first?
Well, I do have an idea. So you can start with Eddi-Rue if you want to.
All right, Eddi-Rue. Fantastic. I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
So you've been having, of course, a lot of strange, vivid dreams lately, ever since all of this weird stuff has started to happen. And this one is no different. You see once again that there is a black magic hollyhock bush that is like welcoming you outside a space that you can't quite recognize, either because of dream logic or unfamiliarity. You honestly can't tell which. It's that weird in-between space of a dream. But the magic hollyhock bush is like wilting and reviving, right? At the same, like it just keeps like pulsing in this particular way as you walk into this dream space. You do get this song playing. Hungry Eyes is playing. But you can't but you still can't identify the space. It's just all sort of a mess. But you do hear on top of this song, you hear all of these voices, and they're repeating over and over that you're not welcome, that this place is sacred. And you see these robed figures in those masks. And you see in the center of them, they haven't quite seen you yet. You see that there's a lifeless body that is there. And suddenly that lifeless body starts to rise, suddenly full of life. And then somebody screams into your face, interloper, and claws at your eyes as you wake up. And your left eye, if you just sort of check to see if it's there, is actually dripping a little bit of blood. And you have the condition foggy eye.
Foggy eye. All right. Eddi-Rue wakes up and at this point, she's definitely come to expect these dreams to a certain degree. And she pads downstairs. It doesn't go into the parlor straight away. Instead, she goes to the kitchen and she takes out some of Teddy's tea that she has. And this tea is good for clairvoyance and things. And she's going to bring that tea into the parlor and pull out her pressing book. And I think this is the moment when she grabs sort of like some hollyhock flowers. And she sets to work to start pressing some things. And as she does, she finds herself sort of like mindlessly playing with her daughter's rosary. She puts on some music. This time she puts on some Shostakovich. No, Dvorak. Classical stuff. She knows she's going on an adventure. And what she does is she sort of like, as she's holding this rosary, she's thinking about her daughter. And I think I would like, and you can tell me if I can do this, I would love to start the game with an occult move.
I think, yeah, this is our last mystery. So go big or go home.
In this moment, I would love to have her be thinking about her daughter, who she's lost. And I would love to maybe grab just a little compact mirror. And she knows that as soon as she looks in that mirror, she's going to see a shadow of something, as she has been in any glass and anything like that, especially as she's pressing flowers. And she's going to sort of she's going to just hope and pray that maybe she'll get a little bit of clairvoyance in this moment as she opens up the compact.
To see the future, or to see what needs to be done, or to see the present moment? What is she looking for?
I think it's about the present moment.
Okay.
I think it's not about the future and it's not about the past. It is very much like in this moment, like, yeah, like what's the danger or what's the safety? One of those things. If I could be really augury about it, right? Wheel and woe. So we are gonna, an NSA move. Exactly. Okay, so I roll. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me. You're hoping for something above a 9, so you don't have to take on another Crown of the Void.
That's true. 5. It's a 10 total.
10 total. All right. As you are looking in this reflective surface, looking for insight in this particular moment to the present. You know in your heart of hearts that something is amiss with this inkiness all over over the sea, and you know that this dream was trying to communicate to you something very specific about what is going on in the town. And as you look into this mirror, mirrors that have been communicating so much, you do see something very specific. You see Killigan Ernst, and he is performing his monologue from Hamlet. You can almost hear it. And you see like a light waver, but it does not fall as he continues to speak his lines from his monologue. And at the exact moment that the light was that it did fall, as from your memory, it doesn't fall.
Oh, interesting. Almost as if, okay. That's very interesting.
And that is a clue for those taking notes. Mm-hmm.
All right. And then in this moment, I'm going to do one last thing. Holding this rosary, I'm going to break the rosary and use the Frank Dowling move, thereby eliminating all of my crowns with void and bringing them all back down. And in this moment, just sort of like tapping into that sort of like latent religious background. And it's a thing where like, this has gotten me through so much, but I need to move forward. I need to let my like this memory of my daughter go. Eddi-Rue, emboldened by the knowledge of the void and of understanding that the world is much larger than any sort of like fairy tale that has been told to her over many years. She looks at her work of the hollyhock flowers, is pleased, puts them in her purse, and walks out the door.
Fantastic. Great use of the Frank Dowling move. I have one more thing to add as you walk out the door, which is that you have an invitation. Specifically, you have an invitation to the grand reopening of Beauregard's bar. This invitation is handwritten. And the flowery is the handwriting is pretty flowery, and it doesn't really seem like Etienne to you and what you know of him. But you do have this handwritten invitation.
I love it. In that case, then that's tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she doesn't go out yet. She just sort of like gets ready.
Yeah, it does say it's like an all-day thing. It's like serving breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all-day cocktails. So it's going to be on. It's open today.
So she gets a water bottle.
Great.
And also, she gets ready for the day. With a costume change, she's got in her bag, she's got, for later when it gets nighttime, she carries her big bag today.
Fantastic. All right. Baby, let's go to you. Talk to me about your coziness, and specifically to how your coziness is maybe being infected, even if you haven't taken Crowns of the Void, by what's been happening the last few weeks.
I'm not making soup. I am cooking, but I am not making soup. So I'm also packing a bag. But basically, I am making my own little tincture kit, because even though this was a condition a while ago that I'm paranoid, I'm just keeping that as a lasting condition. So I'm just going to say that's just who I am now. Just Snow Beach. I am getting a little vial of lemon juice, putting that in my bag, Post-it notes, a perfume bottle that I've emptied out the perfume, and I've put diluted peppers and water in, a lighter, a little pill box holder. It's empty. Just a little pill holder. And then I have my coil of rope and teddy stash. And that is all in my bag. So I'm basically making like a mini little survival kit or kit of things. So I am working on cooking up right now, taking some of Teddy's stash, and I am going to see if I can make a tincture out of it. That is what I'm trying to cook right now. and hide it inside some normal foods. I'm making edibles, y'all. We're going to make some snacks.
We're all looking for clairvoyance.
I don't know if it's clairvoyance. This might be a tactical distraction maneuver later. People are used to me feeding them. I'm just saying that might come in handy. So, asking you shall receive. I got all sorts of snacks coming your way.
Ugh, I love it. Open on the table of your kitchen too is also an invitation with a flyer for Beauregard's bar saying that it will be open all day today. Grand reopening, and there's also a bowling pin on it. And you kind of remember that. Oh yeah, he was like, oh, maybe I'll have 2 lanes of bowling in there, which just seems very silly. And as you are continuing to cook, you do get a knock on your front door.
Hell no. All the girls know not to knock. They just walk right in. Who the fuck? Okay, well, I'm just pretending that I have for my stove, it's not an electric hob. I'm pretending it's a gas stove. So I'm just going to take some basil and throw it in the flames to cover the smell of the tincture and go check the door.
Great. You open that door pretty wide, and standing there in front of you is Bill. Your husband who died in the war.
What do you want?
And he just smiles at you. And he touches your face and he's like, my advice to you would be to stay right here today, my sweet.
You know, I'm really glad you never came back.
And he turns into vapor.
Why do we need this again? And I'm just going to slam the door. Fat clouds for my thick-ass boy. You in vape, bro? I am vaped.
Great. Lane, let's go to you. What are you doing?
Absolutely. We see Lane in the shower. The water is going. It is, I would think this is sort of a tasteful camera shot, sort of like upper chest and up. The water is on her back, and she's just sort of standing there. You see that there's no steam. This is cold water. She shivers a little bit. As in one hand, she has a book, which is The Mystery of the Vast Dark Conspiracy, an Amanda Delacorte novel by Robin Masterson. And she flips a page. In the other hand, a cigarette. She takes a drag and then reaches over to the sink where you see an ashtray full of cigarette butts. Absolutely full of cigarette butts. Puts a little, taps the cigarette into it, continues smoking, flips the page. A scene. We go over later. Lane is back in her house. If you remember her stick, she had the pole arm thing, and then taped a broomstick to it so it could be longer. And now she's tied a string to the little trigger so it can grab again. And she is reaching all the way into her living room where she knocked off the cordless phone last time and was not able to actually extract it. Pulls the string to grab the cordless phone and very slowly inches it over, and finally is able to grab it without entering the living room. Drops her pole arm, walks out onto the porch, and dials a number. It rings. It
Fully
rings. Naked. Fully naked. No, this is later. Okay. She's in her regular outfit, her regular all black. It rings and rings, and then we hear a voicemail that goes, "You've reached Darren. I have to remind you, I am retired, so no offers, please. If you are a young theater artist looking for advice, I will happily take you to coffee to tell you not to do this job. Please leave a message." Beep. And on the beep, Lane goes and just says, Darren, it's all real. I know it's real. I've seen it again and again and again. You told me you didn't see anything, and I never believed you.
You directed that show. You were in that theater more than I was. I knew you had to have seen what I saw. And now that I know what's real is real, I know that you were lying to me, Darren. You were lying to me. So are you going to help, or are you just going to continue listening to this? I know you're in. You're always in. Retired my ass. You know, if you had just told me the truth, I don't know, we could have done something about it. We could have gone to another theater. We could have just, I don't know. I don't fucking know, Darren. I'm so sorry. And then you hear the click, and then you hear her phone start beeping as the battery runs out.
Fantastic. The battery is out, but there is a message on your machine if you'd like it.
Yeah, she just smacks the button with the polearm with her practiced, having done so before.
Love it. Yeah, you're very practiced at that polearm, Lane. You hear the voice of your agent that is not your agent, and it just sort of says in this very melodic way, you know, if you stay home today and lie very still, this role could be yours. Or if you leave the house and sabotage your friends, the roles would definitely be yours. The midwives want to work with you, Lane, and will work for you. But if you leave the house, dear Lane, I'm afraid that's it for you. I do mean curtains. Click.
Yeah, she knocks the phone over with the polearm.
You also, of course, have this same invitation to Beauregard's bar. It is a printed out flyer, so nothing unusual or special about it, just saying that we are open all day today. All right, Doris, to you. Take us through your coziness.
She woke up, she made a cup of tea. She's doing her bi-weekly knife sharpening of her big-ass Bowie knife, which this week seems like usually it's just a habit, and she's gotten into it just, you know, in case you should need a Bowie knife for anything. But this one feels very pressing, like she's being very focused and making sure that she's doing a really good job. And as she is sharpening, she's also, the part of her brain that's not just focused on that is thinking about her friend Ethel a few towns over, her pen pal, and Doris is honestly contemplating, like, okay, when I sit down in a few minutes to write Ethel a letter, like, I hope not, but like, what if this is the last letter that I write to her? Like, what do I say? Like, how do I encompass our friendship? And so she's thinking about all of that while sharpening her knife.
And your phone rings.
And Doris is gonna carefully put down the knife, and then this time try to answer it before the person can just leave her a mysterious message again. Hello?
Doris, it's me. And you hear the voice of your friend Teddy. It is very clear to you now that it is Teddy.
Teddy, are you okay?
I'm sorry. Okay, I don't have time. This is it. This might be it for me. They're closing in. I know too much, okay? I've been trying to help you. I don't know, okay? But the ritual is happening soon, all right? The ritual is happening soon. You have to figure out where and when and how the eye of Chiron rises. What? Oh my God. And you hear this like loud, like clanging clang. Oh my God, they're here. The eye of Chiron rises. You have to figure out where. They're here. And then you hear a scuffle and a scream. And you can hear that it's Teddy and that, like, she's being taken away somewhere.
Teddy! And Doris is, like, straining to listen if there's anything else. And it's just quiet. And Doris just, like, stands there for a minute. And then when the phone goes to, like, burp, the, like, nothing sound, she hangs it up. And she has this, like, belt sheath that she hasn't used since her park ranger days, but she's going to strap it on and put the knife in it and gather up all her backpack full of stuff. And she's going to go to Eddi-Rue's house.
And I guess now I'll check in with all of you. Do you all plan on making your way over to Eddi-Rue's, or is this Doris and Eddi-Rue alone first?
I will happily join, but I will happily allow a two for scene before I join.
Can we do all the above, but can Doris just get there first?
I think that's great. Doris, as you are walking down the street, I just want to tell you that you can't hear that wonderful trombone. It's like it hasn't been here in days. And on top of that, there is like this red hue, this like red pall that's sort of been cast over. It's sort of subtle, but you see it when you look around you, that it just feels like there's a tint in the air, a red tint. And I can't remember, I think it was Eddi-Rue who saw the red tint in the mirror. So it's not necessarily something that you are clocking from your memory, but Eddi-Rue, when you see her coming into your house, it's something that immediately like you're seeing outside and you're like, come
on in.
Eddi-Rue. And Doris is just, I think, dressed like she normally is, but just like looks like just more prepared, and the way she's standing is slightly different. And she says, Eddi-Rue, I just got a phone call from Teddy.
Hearing that, Eddie she doesn't look like super shocked, but she does sit down.
She's definitely in trouble. Somebody pulled her away at the very end, and she said something like this might be her last something. It doesn't sound good, but she said that the eye of Chiron is rising, and I think we gotta go help her. I don't know where she is, but
we're going to. Listen, we're going to. Okay, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna do this together, all four of us, and we're gonna figure this out, and we're not gonna let them do this. Okay?
We sure aren't.
Come here. I want to show you something. And I walk her into the parlor, and I have created a display. And it is a picture of the five of us, Teddy included. And there are flowers, and it's been partially crafted. All the clothes are created from pressed flowers. And it looks like we're in this beautiful garden. Honestly, do you know the Barack Obama's like portrait that he did and how it looks like he's just in and among the flowers. It's a lot more garish probably in 1997, and certainly not, a masterpiece of portraiture, but the flower work is excellent but it doesn't complete the whole frame. There are the edges of the glass frame are see-through. It doesn't reach the edges. It just sort of like peters out in this sort of like artful way. She goes, I made this for all of us. And at the end of this, I just want whoever, I don't know what's going to happen. And I tell her all about the dreams, and I tell her about specifically the fact that there was a sacrifice in the middle of the circle. And I say, listen, I don't know what's going to happen, and I feel a little bit targeted in the target zone on this. So I just want you to have this if anything happens, okay?
Okay.
Does that count as a cozy scene?
I think so.
I would love to remove a condition.
Fantastic.
Cool. I'm losing flustered. I think that's still there. Yeah, frazzled. She is not.
You mean you're not losing inappropriate?
Oh no, never. And to that end, Eddi-Rue takes off her coat, and her dress is fabulous. It is just like gold, like that beautiful gold pleats thing. It like flows, and when she turns, it flares, and it's low cut. It's got like a big, deep, plunging neckline. And she has taken one of her. She's wearing a long necklace with sort of like a probably costume jewelry, but looks really fancy, evil eye right at her sternum. And she says, so I don't know, I guess we'll go to a bar opening today. And I feel like unless you have anything, Doris, I mean.
No, yeah, that sounds great. I think
That's a
Doris.
lovely
I think
moment.
Doris would just say, "You certainly are dressed the part, Eddi-Rue. Impeccable as always."
Listen, if I'm going to be a human sacrifice, I'm going to look fucking great.
Like I just hope it doesn't get to that point. But props to you for thinking ahead, I guess.
Listen, I show her I show her that the invitation. I said they wrote to me specifically.
Oh, yeah.
And Doris, if you look at your invitation, you will see that yours is not handwritten, but there is a drawing of an eye at the corner of the page.
Oh, also check out this thing, and I show her the I show everybody I show her the compact mirror.
Excellent.
What's this? You can see yourself in it? As Lane walks in.
Lane, come here.
Yeah,
First of
I'm
all-
seeing myself in this mirror.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's that's why it's not for you. but I do think you should have the eyeball, and I give Lane the eyeball.
She puts the evil eye on.
Yeah. Here you go. Just keep it in your purse or IKEA bag, whatever. I'm not going to define that Lane carries one of those giant blue IKEA
definitely.
bags.
I think we established that it was like not necessary. It was like basically an IKEA bag, right? Like that was in the first episode.
We have. Okay, cool. So how are you?
My phone died. I'm doing great. I had a nice shower today.
Mm-hmm.
How are the two of you?
I think I just give Lane a hug.
Yeah, no, she like limply accepts it.
Yeah, she needs it.
Doris is just weighing. Well, she can't not tell Lane, but Lane just looks very stressed out already. So as gently as possible, Doris is gonna impart the news about the phone call from Teddy.
Yeah, and in reaction to that, she says, "Wait, so is it you've been getting those weird calls?
Yeah.
It's been Teddy the whole time?
Yep. It has been.
Well, it means she's okay.
I hope so. I sure hope so. It didn't sound great at the end, but
Oh, she'll be fine.
she can hold her own pretty well.
I trust.
What's up,
I trust that
ladies?
she's fine.
Oh, baby, hey. She will be fine.
Guess what I have?
We're going to make sure she's fine. Whoa, hello.
I'm very excited to show you something. This will cheer everybody up. You all look like someone just died. And I'm going to pull out Chico.
Oh, that's great.
Let's just say Frank won't be missing him.
I'm so tempted. to do another thing with the void right now, but
Void
Wait,
dog.
I'm sorry. You're saying Frank won't be missing his dog?
No, I left a stuffed animal in the backyard. It'll be days before he realizes.
Oh, that's a good point.
Baby, I'm going to say that you can put Chico in your cozy place.
Yes!
Let's go. If we're going to hell
You
in
got
a
a little dog in
handbasket,
your
I'm taking the
inventory.
dog. I'm taking the dog. Dumbass.
okay, well, listen, ladies. We've got a big day today. And I think, to lay it all out, I tell everybody about the dream, tell everybody about we've got my beautiful pressed flower display, but also like my suspicions, everything you've heard, everything you've got from me, and saying like, here are the people. We've got this all-day event to go to. So the question is, where do we start?
Well, I got to buy some limes.
What?
Well, do you
Why?
think they'll have limes there?
Yes, it's a bar.
Well, I don't know. Do they have good limes or do they have those shitty bar limes?
Lane, I'm going to ask you one thing. Do you think a sailor bar in a New England town doesn't have Coronas?
I think we have established I do not like boats. I am not really a boat understander over
You're
here.
not a boat girl?
Not a boat girl.
I think you're fine. And besides, baby, how many limes do you have in your purse?
At least 10.
There you
I
go.
didn't count exact.
Oh, that's probably enough. How many people do you think are gonna order Cosmos at this thing?
How many people do you think deserve them? Only us.
Definitely
us.
Why would you?
That's fair. I guess I could pre-batch.
You can make a virgin one for.
No, it's all about the show. Are you kidding? Oh, do you want? Okay, I have a cute little cocktail waitress number, and that I'm sure. You listen. I was much. If it'll fit, if you want it.
Is it black?
Yes, it's black.
I will happily take. I think you're a couple feet taller than me, but let's go ahead.
Well, it was a short dress on me, so.
It'll be very long on me. Sounds great.
Perfect. Okay, so I give it to her.
We're all coming in dressed to impress. I just hope you know.
So that's the plan. You all are going to just go to the opening, and you're just going to decide what you're going to do from there. It's totally fine. I just want to double check that that's what you want to do.
Well, did anybody have anything they wanted to do to talk to? I mean,
should we investigate? Should we follow these leads before or after?
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm saying.
Event?
I feel like before. Once we're there, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
I also point out again, I've already done this, but personalized invitation, and I've never seen Etienne's handwriting, but I've also never seen a man's handwriting like this.
We may as well go and do a little walking because I want to make sure Chico goes to the bathroom before we come in.
I'm just realizing that what Meeks very kindly gave us was that moment in the Final Fantasy game where they're like, you might want to save before this. You enter the store.
Yeah. Yeah. So who do we go to first?
I think Salty Nancy for sure. We could say we're going to go get a tattoo together.
I would 100% get a tattoo with you all.
They will not put me in the cemetery if I have a tattoo.
Lane, you could get white ink.
Or a temporary tattoo.
Do you think white ink would fool them? I don't care about the rule. They're very serious about it.
Which cemetery do you want to go in? The cemetery? Specifically?
It's the one where my family's buried out in Queens.
Okay, so it's a no from Lane. All right, let's go.
I would do the white ink thing if they're not going to notice it.
I think you could hide it pretty well with white ink. Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Or just tattoo it in a place they'll never look.
Under the boob. Just lift it up and then fold it back down.
That's a great idea.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if they look there.
I highly doubt they will.
Notoriously, they don't check under the boob.
So much of this, this party dynamic is so much of it is sort of like convincing Lane to do the thing.
Yeah, it really is.
You did just tell a Jewish woman to get a tattoo.
No, it's very good. It's all well justified. It's a wonderful thing. I'm loving it.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Come on.
All I did was
these are conversations I've had in my own household about.
So to be clear, though, you're all now going to head out of Eddi-Rue's house, and you're all going to go to this boardwalk where the tattoos are.
You know what? Actually, what I'd like to do.
Missing something else at our save point.
No, what I want to do a little thing, and maybe this is a good opportunity. I want to use the compact mirror in this moment because it's all about sort of like wheel or woe, present moment thing, right? We're weighing options, right? Kind of want to open it and just be like, casually be like, yes, we're going to go to the tattoo parlor. Is that how this works? Can it be? If that's like, if perhaps there's a person, like a place that like if it's dangerous or if it's, just to gain some information about this plan.
I like this a lot. So here's what I'll say. So like this is your compact mirror is slightly different than your eye, right? So like, but if you're just looking at it and you're in your guts, you're just sort of like, okay, what is the risk that's involved in this particular scenario? Is that fair?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to differentiate these because with the void, we literally see what the void is hiding from us, right? Mm-hmm. But this is less about that, and it's more about like decisions.
Great. So you stand on the threshold of your house. I imagine just sort of all of you in a line as you're all like looking at this thing. And what you see in this compact mirror is a beautiful torso of a man. It is chiseled. It is breathtaking. It is very, very sexy. And then you see a knife come into frame of this, carving something into that stomach, his perfectly chiseled abs, and it looks like it's some sort of runic symbol of some kind. And those of you who have already left your house today, which is Doris and Lane and Bebe, now have an overwhelming urge to vomit. It is as if you are sick to your stomach and you now have the condition sick to your stomach.
Clarifying question. I've had flustered since we first ran into Ginger. Is it fair to say that's cleared?
I would say so, since since you had sex. I don't know if it's changed into something else, but I didn't give you one at the time. So yeah, I think it's probably clear.
I will replace it with, what did you just say? Queasy? No.
Sick to your stomach.
Has my pack or two cleared lawless?
It's up to you, Lane.
Or is
You're
Lane
the one who's been
lawless?
I mean, you've been holding on to lawless, so like that's
I'll
up to you.
take away lawless for now.
Okay.
Well, it might come back.
If you feel at peace, I think that's up to you. Yeah.
Where we're going, there are no laws.
So that's the information that you got, but that was not a clue. I want to differentiate. That was not a clue.
No. Okay.
But yes, now you all feel like you're going to be sick, except for Eddi-Rue. Eddi-Rue, you feel fine, as your friends are doubling over, almost sick to their stomach.
Okay.
Eddie, do you have any Pepto-Bismol?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have any like magic Pepto-Bismol? Because I feel like this is not normal.
Do you know what? They just came out with the pills. They just came out with pills. It's great.
Pills would be great. If you have ginger ale to wash it down, that maybe is... Yeah.
Oh, I have ginger ale.
Did the pills taste good? Because the I love that pink goo.
All right, I've got the pink goo. I got the whatever you want.
I'll take the goo.
When Lane says that she loves pink goo, Doris gets a little more sick to her stomach.
Okay. And I get Doris in, and I'm like, Canada Dry.
We don't need the void. We can get sick on our own. Thank you.
And for Baby, I literally just give you like a piece of raw ginger because I know.
Fuck you. But yes.
Baby, what do you mean fuck you? I'll do what you want. I'm just trying to be nice. I thought it would be a thing that Baby would be like chewing on ginger. It seems like the sort of thing.
I mean, Lane chugs half the bottle and hands the other half to Baby.
Thank you. I'm gonna mix. It's my chaser.
Preference.
Sort of a Ginjo-Bismol.
All right. Well,
I like my Pepto spicy.
Okay, well, let's gird our loins. Seems we're gonna be... Man, what a man. We're still going, right? Are we still going?
Man, if only he'd carved the runes a little lower.
So this is the question. Are y'all still going?
Of course. We're gonna die anyhow. May as well make it good.
We're not gonna save Teddy by staying in this house. So I say, let's press on.
Oh, I forgot that I had to... The TiVo doesn't exist yet, so I have to watch the show that I want. I don't give a shit. Yeah, let's go.
Awesome. All right. So you walk out into this, into the day that, like I said, is like this red pall everywhere. And you make your way to the bad docks versus the good docks. The good docks is where the Grand Prometheus is. The bad docks is where, more seedy fare, especially for the 90s, exists. And you see the tattoo parlor is Be's Best Tattoos. As you sort of come into it, you've never been here before, but I'm just so curious. This is the question I'll be asking about most of our locales today, even if you haven't been there. But in what way has this place been affected by the presence of the midwives of the Fragrant Void? So that could be the docks, that could be the location, that can be just the general air of things.
I think it just stinks. I think it's that, like, nasty sea smell.
I imagine it's what like the Hudson River smells like.
Yeah, it feels like it's perpetually low tide.
Elaine breathes in deep. Ah, the scent of home.
Like, when you haven't cleaned out your garbage for a while, and you get that just juice at the bottom. It's that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's the kind of smell that at first you're like, oh, that's not great, but it's all right. It's like not that bad. And then the more you smell it, the more you're like, ugh.
So as you enter Best Be's tattoo, or Be's best tattoo, however you want to say it, you see that there's a number of design sheets. You can hear the thrum of somebody getting tattooed in the back. And there's nobody sort of out in the area to greet you, but you do see like the sort of design sheets that are up. And Salty Nancy's are way more nautical than the other ones. Her other ones, which seem to be a lot of like, the other ones seem to be very biker bar oriented. Again, 90s, like just like very specific, but Nancy's seem really artful and intricate. Again, more nautical. But there are some eyes.
No, like mom in a heart with a knife through it.
Nope. You do also see some eye tattoos, some different eye tattoos, and you can see that like that maybe Nancy's in the back because you can see somebody in the distance just sort of like dipping down and dipping up, but you only see the back of their head.
Well, what should we get, ladies?
I wonder, do they have a book that we can look through?
I mean, we couldn't get a book.
Like, let's through all the things. Is there any like? Are there any waves?
We could get a book.
Oh,
I love that.
It's your idea.
It is.
Kind of, but yeah, not really, but yes! Let's get a book.
Well, I don't know. Is there like, maybe we ring the bell on the counter? Just, hello?
And you do see the person who's working on the person in the back just like turns over the shoulder, just a minute, and is continuing to do some things. And you see like she makes like this like symbol, just like squiggle with the thing. And then she goes, all right, sit there, be still. I'll be right back. And she comes back out, and it's this woman who's super tall. She has arms that are gigantic, sleeves, just sleeve upon sleeve of tattoo. And she's got on these biker boots and blue jeans and this like really grubby like white tank top that has like blood splatters on it from like, you know, doing different things. Like she just looks kind of a mess. And she's just like, what can I do for you?
Oh, you look like a painting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're here.
Who wants to get tattooed? Y'all are
yeah,
older. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, I'm a little younger than the rest of them.
It's sort of a blood brotherhood style thing. You know.
Yes.
More of a paperback sisterhood, thank you.
You've heard of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. You know, we're the Sisterhood of the Traveling.
No, that has not come
books.
out yet.
That hasn't come out yet.
I haven't heard of that actually, but she's just sort of staring at your cleavage because it is amazing in that particular dress. Yes, I haven't heard of that. Who's getting tattooed?
One for each
Well,
of us.
all of us. I think at least 3 of us.
All of us.
Do you do white ink tattoos?
Who wants a white ink tattoo? You don't want anybody
if
to
you
see
do
it?
the kind of tattoo where you can still get buried in a Jewish cemetery.
Oh,
We have someone of the kosher variety.
got it.
Kosher tattoos.
I don't specialize in kosher tattoos, but I can do it with white ink. Yeah.
I think that as long as we put it somewhere they're not going to look, that's all right.
I'd love to tattoo your ass. That sounds fun.
Sounds great.
Oh, Elaine, you daredevil.
It'll be hard to sit on for a few days. You okay with that?
I'm sure she's done
I prefer
worse.
to stand.
I just have to finish up. I have some free time after I finish this guy up. But yeah, if that's all you want, you just want a book, and you want it in white ink.
You know, we'll sketch out some ideas while you're in the back.
Great. Okay. Yeah. No problem. And she goes back to her client, and you can see that they're talking to each other, and then and then before you know it, the client's gone. And she just sort of closes the curtain behind it, and she comes back. But the client didn't exit out the front. They exited out the back.
Without us getting to find out who he was. How do we meddle to make that happen?
I mean, you could ask. Or you can sneak around and try to find that. If you want to send somebody out behind back, you can do that too. That's up to you.
I mean, yeah. I don't think Eddi-Rue would go, so I'm not going to go. But it just came to me as it happened. So
I think Doris will go, because I think Doris also wants... Doris is kind of thinking like, oh, we're in the bad docks. Maybe Teddy's here somewhere. So I feel like she would want to like scope some stuff out anyway. So Doris is going to say, oh, I forgot something in the car. I'll be right back. Ladies, don't wait for me. I'll get whatever book you think is best.
Sorry. Yeah, Salty Nancy's like, all right, who am I working on? Yeah, what were you saying, baby? Sorry.
I'll go first. I think I want a book, of course, but I don't know. Do you think you can do something with this? And I hold my evil eye necklace. Do you think you could do something like, I say there's a bunch of different eye stuff around here. Maybe we can make something happen on the book jacket or something. Ooh, or the book's opening and there's an eye inside of it.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Cool. Let's do something like that. And I want to find out if that makes her go, if she gets any cagier. And then I mentioned that eye stuff. That's my meddling.
Great. Go ahead and roll to meddle. I'll say that she doesn't seem to be perturbed at all, like one way or the other. She's just like, cool, let's do it, whatever you want.
Cool.
But if you're trying to find some more, we can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, I actually think this is probably a sensitivity roll if it's more than anything else, because she's just like alarm bells at all times, and I rolled a 9 + 1, so a 10.
Great. Yeah, and she's just like, yeah, we can do any kind of eye stuff you want. Is there any particular like eye pattern that you're looking for?
Well, I've got this. And it's sort of like this opulent, sort of like brightly opened eye.
And this is the classic evil eye. This is just like a medallion, right?
Yeah, it's a medallion with an evil eye with just the blue and the white in the middle.
Sort of like the Southern European, West Asian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But around it is sort of like what looks almost like pointed, like a star with a million points. Do you know what I mean? But like surrounding it are these like almost like dagger like points of like many different things.
Yeah, so she looks at it really intensely, and then she's like, "Oh, let me see if this speaks to you." And she pulls you around past the closed curtain, and she shows you this painting that she has in the room that she was just in with the client. And it's a painting of an eye in the sky over like this inky black slick. In the sky, and it's this calm eye over a turbulent ocean. The eye shines down as if it's the moon presiding over the bay, and that is your clue. So I can tell you all that again if you would like it.
That she has this portrait, or the picture itself. The picture itself. Yeah.
It's because you use sensitivity. I'm like, this is a painting that for Eddi-Rue is a clue.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I love the sort of like tranquility that eye holds. But I do think I want to keep it a little bit closer to the evil eye. Because I imagine it's different from the evil eye.
Way different.
Yeah. That's gorgeous and fascinating, and I love the sort of like peaceful calm that it seems to be representing over an otherwise rather treacherous space, which I understand, but I think for me it's going to be more the opposite. Do you know what I mean? This is more the thing. It's a more simple design, I suppose, but there are 4 of us, so we have to get through it.
Yeah. Okay, and you can see she's taking notes. Let's check in with Doris, who is doing something risky by trying to follow this lead outside. So, Doris, I'm going to need you to give me a night move for following or trying to find this person outside, and sort of tell me what you're doing to find this.
Yeah, so I think Doris is just going to go right out the door and kind of like sneak around the side of the building and kind of just try to like, if there's barrels and stuff, kind of like crouch behind them because she's not sure if this person's going to go out the back and go to the front or whatever. But I think, just kind of sneaking around the side, just trying to see who came out.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
And
sorry, hold on, because it's a night move. Yeah. I forgot the whole thing. The whole thing is when you do something risky or face something you fear, you have to name what you're afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve. And the keeper will tell you how it's worse than you fear. And then you can choose to back down or go through with it.
Yeah, I think Doris is worried that it's going to be one of the midwife cult people and they're going to kill her or throw her in the ocean or something.
Great. I would say that not only would it be a midwife, but it would probably be it'd be somebody who is absolutely a threat, an immediate threat to you if you're seen. And well, being thrown in the ocean is one thing, but I'm going to say that this one would come with an emotional impact.
Okay, so I'm going to roll. Let's see, with composure probably. To be sneaky. All right. We got a 4. Oh, and a 6. Plus 1 is 11.
11. And you weren't affected by any of your conditions, just to make sure?
Great question. I do.
Because what were you rolling with composure?
With composure. Yeah.
Because yes, you are battling a sick to your stomach. So would it be...
I feel like, and I still have spooked. I've had spooked for a bunch of sessions now, which is fair. So I feel like some combo of those would probably affect. Yeah. So I roll one more.
Give me one more and take the 2 lowest.
Whew, that's a 1. So 4 plus 1 plus 1 is 6.
Great. When you turn this corner, and you can, of course, after I tell you this, you can, of course, put on a crown and change it. Yeah. But when you turn this corner, you are confronted immediately face to face with Ginger Hale, who just had a fresh tattoo done.
No!
And she looks at you and she is so, you can see like visibly upset. And she's just like, you were supposed to stay home, and grabs you roughly to lead you away. Do you want to put on a crown of the void?
Sure
or the queen?
I'd love to put on a crown. Yup. I'm gonna do crown of the void because I'm on the chariot, which is your reason modifier is reduced by 1 and your sensitivity is upped by 1. And I think that's really accurate for Doris's mental state right now. Like, she's been spooked, she's been freaked out for a while, so I think the reasoning going down makes sense. Which means I'm at 0 reason and 0 sensitivity. Yes.
Great.
No!
So instead what has happened is you've turned the corner and you have seen that it is Ginger, who is looking over her shoulder, hoping that you do not see her as she gets into her car and drives away, clearly covering a recent tattoo.
Oh, Doris is just... like, the wind goes out of her sails. She's just... And then she tries to remind herself, like, could be any old tattoo. Could be a tattoo of, like, a light from the theater. Like, doesn't have to be a weird tattoo. But the prevailing thought is, like, she got an eye tattoo. Like, wow, uh-oh, yeah. So, So, yeah, Doris is gonna try to shake that off. And... yeah.
I think she's going to have a new condition as well.
So many conditions. I love it.
I think she's, maybe we can workshop this one.
Yeah.
What is it? Because some of you come up with, specifically Ben comes up with better titles for them than I do, but something about feeling like something that is like lost all trust.
Right.
So like betrayed is my feeling, but like something that makes it harder for you to trust even your close circle here. Maybe it is just betrayed.
Or just like distrustful.
Distrustful.
Feels right?
Yeah.
Well, you're past your limit.
Yeah, that's my 4th condition.
Which means you have to put on a crown of the void.
Oh, another one. Woo! Mm-hmm. And then do I replace one of the 3 or do I just have 4 now?
It says instead. It says you instead put on a crown of the void, I think.
Instead of taking that. Okay.
Instead, mark one of your crowns.
Oh, but I want to switch it out, though.
I do too.
It does say any crown. It does say crown, so it doesn't necessarily. I don't know if it's specifically.
It does. It is supposed to be crown of the void. I'm pretty sure. I did check that one.
That tracks.
Yeah.
I would like to, if you're open to that, I would love it to be changed for spooks.
Okay.
Yeah, or Furious with Bureaucracy. You don't need Furious with Bureaucracy anymore.
That one was from a while ago. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and that way we can have this fun thing.
Yeah, I'm spooked and distrustful. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. You feeling the feels, Miss Doris.
She sure is. She's been on a roller coaster already.
So you're putting on a Crown of the Void. Fantastic.
Mask. During any intimate conversation with another character, you must make a casual reference to death, dying, the afterlife, or the end of all things, no matter the subject at hand.
Great.
And can I just clarify slightly, in terms of an intimate conversation, that would be like a one-on-one and less of a like, we're all in a group and I'm talking about death all the time? Or is it up to me?
I think it's up to you to define intimate.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can I do a little retcon?
Yeah.
That painting is really lovely, and I love so much the sort of like vibe that it has of the eye looking over the turbulent seas. I see, but I think what I would like, and I know this is a little departure from what I was saying before, but I would like an eye that is closed on my tattoo. I want the eye that's instead of the evil eye, I want a closed eye.
Great.
On the book.
Got it. And she nods and she's just like, you've seen my handiwork, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. It's wonderful, but I don't know, maybe it's a little challenge. Let's just see.
Yeah, I like that. I like a closed eye on the book. That's great. And she takes some notes. And she's just like, let's confab, because if you all want to match, I just want to make sure that we're all giving you exactly what you want. And she like kind of like puts her hand on the small of your back and leads you back into the lobby with your friends. And Doris, feel free to enter whenever you need to. But she's just like, okay, so we have a closed eye on a book is where we're landing for you two ladies as well. Where's your wherever your third friend is that where you all are? Is it a closed eye on a book, and we'll do yours in white ink?
Yes.
Yeah.
We would all like to match.
Great. And so she's like looking at it, and she like makes some tabulations.
Were you thinking like an open eye, or like it's like a variation on the? I've never done a group tattoo, obviously.
Closed eye. The closed eye on a book.
I think also Lane was trying to meddle there in the like. Oh, you want to do an open eye? If you're an open eye expert, if you're tattooing eyes on everybody, listen, you have the eye for the eye, if you know what I mean. Should I roll some dice?
Yeah, I would love for you to roll some dice.
All right. I'm going plus presence, obviously, which for me is +3 because I am min-maxed. Well, that's a 4 + 3, 7.
7. Fantastic. And you can see that she's sort of like thinking about this comment that you've made. She goes, yeah, I mean, I tattoo eyes on all sorts of people. It's great that you all are admirers of my work. I'm not sure if you understand how much this is going to cost you.
Oh, is it like more than $100?
Yes, it's more than $100 for sure.
Was it like 200, 300?
It would be quite a lot. It would be quite a lot.
I'm not great at haggling. I just want to know the price.
Lane, honey, maybe we should sleep on it.
Well, I think you're not supposed to sleep on I don't have one, but don't they say
don't be literal with me? You know what I meant.
And you can see that she sort of like she takes her shoulder and she shows you like a tattoo of hers that's an eye. And as she does, she says, okay, I'm not really sure what you all are getting at, but look at your hand and look at my eye. And so as you do that, and then she says, now look back at your hand again, and all of you, and Doris, you've come back in, I hope, for this moment as well. All of a sudden you see that you have an eyeball in your palm. And it's looking every fucking which way that it fucking can. And then when you look back at her eye, it's gone. And she goes, y'all need to back off right fucking now.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, I think Doris came in for that part. And then once salty Nancy says about backing off, Doris is just going to go right back out the door and wait outside.
Dungeons and Drama Nerds is produced by Todd Brian Backus, Percival Hornak, and Nicholas Orvis, and is mixed and edited by Anthony Sertel Dean. Our Brindlewood Bay campaign features Christopher Diercksen as Eddi-Rue Dubois, Ben Ferber as Lane Walther, Kory Flores as Bebe Garcia, Shannon Wade as Doris Mackowiak, and our keeper, C. Meaker. If you'd like to help us continue exploring the intersection of theater and tabletop role-playing games, consider leaving us a review on your podcast app of choice or supporting us and getting access to our patron-only bonus content at patreon.com/dungeonsanddramanerds. You can find our social media and website links, including our cast bios, at the link tree in our show notes. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode of Dungeons and Drama Nerds.